A man who just got a raise decides to buy a new scope for his rifle. He goes to a rifle shop and asks the clerk to show him a scope. The clerk takes out a scope and says to the man, "This scope is so good, you can see my house up on that hill." The man takes a look through the scope and starts laughing. "What's so funny?" asks the clerk. "I see a naked man and a naked woman running around in the house." The man replies. The clerk grabs the scope from the man and looks at his house. Then he hands 2 bullets to the man and says, "Here are 2 bullets. I'll give you this scope for nothing if you take these 2 bullets, shoot my wife's head off, and shoot the guy's dick off." The man takes another look through the scope and says, "You know what? I think I can do that with only 1 shot." A young girl was having an operation in the hospital. The young girl asked, "Doctor, will I be able to play the piano after the operation?" The doctor said, "Yes, of course." The girl said, "Great, I never could before." A young boy runs into the house and excitedly shows his mother a $50 bill he found in the park. "Are you sure it was lost?" the mother asks. "I'm positive," the boy replies. "I even saw the guy looking for it." A retired boxer goes to see his doctor because he's having trouble sleeping. "Have you tried counting sheep?" the doctor asks. "I tried," the boxer explains, "but every time I get to number 9, I stand up." A teacher asks her class, "True or false? The Declaration of Independence was written in Philadelphia." "False," says a boy in the back. "It was written in ink." A man spends the entire night getting hammered at his local pub. After last call, the man stands up from his stool but falls flat on his face trying to walk. He pulls himself up in the doorway of the bar, attempts to stand, but falls flat on his face to the sidewalk. He drags himself to his car and drives home. He tries to unlock his front door, finally gets it unlocked, but falls flat on his face in the hallway of his home. His wife is standing on the steps to the bedroom, waiting for the man. "You've been out drinking again, haven't you? What makes you say that?" the man asks, still lying on the cold wooden floor. "Because the bar called. You forgot your wheelchair again." A man was sitting at a bar enjoying an after-work cocktail when an exceptionally gorgeous and sexy young woman entered. She was so striking that the man could not take his eyes away from her. The young woman noticed this overly attentive stare and walked directly towards him. Before he could offer his apologies for being so rude, the young woman said to him, "I'll do anything, absolutely anything that you want me to do, no matter how kinky, for $100 on one condition." Flabbergasted, the man asked what the condition was. The young woman replied, "You have to tell me what you want to do in just 3 words. The man considered her proposition for a moment, withdrew his wallet from his pocket and slowly counted out 5 $20 bills, which he pressed into the young woman's hand. He looked into her eyes and slowly, meaningfully said, "Paint my house." 3 men are convicted of a crime and sentenced to 20 years in solitary confinement. They're each allowed to bring something into the cell. The first man chooses as many books as can fit in the cell. The second man requests painting supplies. The last man requests 20 years worth of cigarettes. On the morning of their release, the warden goes to visit each man in his cell. The first man tells the warden, "These last 20 years of studying have been amazing. I'm going to go back to school and get my teaching degree." The second man tells the warden, "I've become an accomplished artist and my works will hang in some of the most famous galleries in the world. The warder enters the third man's cell and finds him surrounded by all of the cigarettes. The man tells the warden, "I probably should have also requested matches." A young couple on the brink of divorce visit a marriage counselor. The counselor asks the wife, "What is the problem?" She responds, "My wife suffers from premature ejaculation." The counselor turns to her husband and inquires, "Is that true?" The husband replies, "Well, not exactly. It's her that suffers, not me." It was a nice sunny day and three men were walking down a country road when they saw a bush with a pig's ass popping out. The first man says, "I wish that was Demi Moore's ass." The second man says, "I wish that was Pamela Anderson's ass." Then the third man says, "I wish it was dark." A woman is looking for a Thanksgiving turkey, but can't find a bird big enough to feed her massive family. She asks the stock boy, "Do these turkeys get any bigger?" The stock boy replies, "No, they stopped growing, ma'am. Those turkeys are dead." Mark bragged about his home aquarium to a friend. "I keep it super clean," he said, "and my fish are always so darn happy." "How the heck can you tell your fish are happy?" his friend asked. "Because," Mark replied, "they are always waging their tails." A young boy runs into the house and excitedly shows his mother a $50 bill he found in the park. "Are you sure it was lost?" the mother asks. "I'm positive," the boy replies. "I even saw the guy looking for it." A man goes to a job interview. The interviewer tells him that they are looking to hire someone who is responsible. "Well, I'm your man," the applicant replies. "At my first job, whenever anything went wrong, they said I was responsible." A teacher asks her class, "True or false?" The Declaration of Independence was written in Philadelphia. "False," says a boy in the back. "It was written in ink." Middle manager is called into his boss's office on a Monday morning. The boss tells him that he has to get rid of one employee in his department by the next Monday, downsizing. He's really upset. Everyone in his department does a great job, and it really doesn't seem fair. So for the next 2 days, he racks his brain trying to figure out who to fire. On Tuesday afternoon, he sees Jack and Jill standing at the water cooler. He says to himself, "Okay, it's going to be one of them." He spends the next few days checking what each of them does. Everything is equal. Productivity, time off, reports, everything. He's stuck. It's Friday afternoon and he knows he's going to have to think about this all weekend. Everyone has left the office except Jack and Jill, who are getting ready to leave. She comes over to say goodbye. "Have a good weekend, boss." "Hey, you don't look so good. Is something wrong? Is everything okay?" He looks at her and says, "To be honest, I'm having a tough time here. I can't decide if I should lay you off or lay Jack off." And she looks at him and says, "Well, I have to catch a bus, so I suggest you jack off."